sorry we had some technical issues, so we're going to continue here with part 2 to give you guys the rest of the details of what has been going on with the anti-SARS revolution movement that is taken on right now in Nigeria. So watch the first video if you have ran into this one right now at this moment. So definitely watch the first video. This will give you guys a much more broad idea of the beginning of the whole SARS and what is going on in Nigeria. So just to give you guys a little brief, so what is SARS? SARS is not the virus that we're dealing with, COVID SARS. Is actually a force that is used in Nigeria, which are the people are protesting against, that have turned into a police brutality over there in Nigeria. So what SARS stands for is a special unit, special anti-robbery squad unit that was created to betterment the country or to be able to protect the citizens from robbery and all the other bad things, criminal act that takes place usually in a country. But over time, especially in the last 4 years, there has been a lot of use of power where these guys are abusing it and just not doing well with the people of the country. So to continue on, as far as the protests, so people were camping outside in Lekki. Thousands and thousands of Nigerians who were camping outside and overnight, even when a curfew of 24-hour was implemented there, so that people basically don't go out at all. That's the whole point of a 24-hour curfew. And with that, you know, people has enough. They are not there to listen anymore. This demonstration is going to continue as they show it. So in the suburb of Lekki, people camp outside overnight, block the roads and the traffic, and even one of the people, you know, I don't know if they're governor official or who they are exactly, sent out a tweet about the people camping out there. And I'm gonna look for the tweet here really quick. So basically in the tweet, he tweeted saying that the protests, you can't block the road, disrupt free flow of traffic, and prevent other people from embarking on their lawful duties, especially the emergency responders. And one of the leaders responded to it and said, well, you blocked the road for your birthday party, affected the whole city, which was felt. Let's keep the same energy, sir. It's time around the roads are blocked because we want to stay alive. And she meant well, you know, because the people had enough. They're dying throughout the pandemic with the starvation, and now all of a sudden, you know, the people are speaking up and going against the governor leadership and demands that there should be changes. And the governor is kind of going around it a little bit if you really actually think about it. So, continuing on. So as the protester claims to be peaceful, they were waving the Nigerian flag. And this was a representation to know that we love our country. We just want change for our country. We want police reform. We want the bad and the corrupt soldiers or the police to be completely out of the system because they are no longer doing what they are supposed to do. So we are going against it. And they were accused by the authorities as a criminal elements of torching, looting buildings, and unleashing terror on citizens, the Lagos State governor said on the Twitter. So instead of listening to the people or trying to solve what the people are fighting for, they decided they want to cover up and use it as a fake news, as a fake report. And this has been going around on social media in the last few days, okay? When the shooting happened and people died in this protest. They are covering up, saying that the people are terrorizing the citizens. They are looting, they are whatever they're doing. Hearing from some of the eyewitnesses and some of the activists that I have been constantly speaking with that are currently in Nigeria that are part of the protest, they're peaceful protests, unharmed, they don't have any weapons, they have not loot. Even though it's a third world country with one of the largest poverty of all time, they still haven't loot or anything in that level. But yeah, it was a good try for the governor to cover that up and call it a fake news, which was never a fake news. Tuesday night, without a warning, the Nigerian soldiers opened fire on a peaceful demonstration in Lagos after the killing of protests, and then came plot to cover it up. The demonstration only grew bigger all over Nigeria, including here in the United States. Now, this is where people got more furious and got more upset at what was going on. Some of these demonstrators, they are demonstrating day and night without a rest. So the shooting happened that night in Lekki, and it also happened during a broad daylight. So I'm going to play a quick short video of one of our activists who's currently there in Nigeria, who actually witnessed the shooting happening next to him. And speaking to him, he was just terrified and said, you know, this is not a moment you can even feel anything. It's almost like unreal in reality, because people are being shot on your left, on your right. You know, people are falling in front of you. So I'm gonna pull up a short video really quick here. And just hearing from his voice, you could tell that these youths no longer have empathy. They are ready to die. They are ready to risk their life and lose it.
Right here on the streets, they are shooting at us. They are shooting at us. They are shooting at us. They are shooting at us.
Now, as in the video, you guys could probably hear the gunshots that is going on. And this is in the middle of the street there in Nigeria. So I don't know if Malik could pull in a little closer and they're able to see it. But just to give you guys a little glimpse. But if you go on social media at Ali9Mo Talk Show, you'll be able to see a lot of the videos that I shared from one of these activists at what is going on in the streets of Nigeria. Now, it's very hard to watch and devastating.
They shot him on the head. Right here, right now. How long can we continue like this? They've killed a whole lot of us.
Like serious, bro. I don't believe this in our country. This is
killing us.
Country. We are killing us for our rights. That's fucking bad. Wow.
Our bodies are now.
We need to reform this government. Bullets. Yes, we don't need you people again. We need a youth.
But still we move.
We move, yeah. We never give up.
Still we move.
Yeah. We never give up. For this Anti-SARS.
As you guys can hear from these youths, the way they are speaking, this is devastating. This is a tragedy. This is what's happening right now. At the moment this was happening, this video was sent to me immediately. And these are some of the youths that I know over there that are currently protesting and watching people get shot in front of them in the middle of the street. 2020, it is still happening. It is happening right now in Nigeria. How can such leader that is supposed to build their country and serve their people, take care of their people, currently killing their people in the middle of the street? They're unharmed youth. They don't have guns. They don't have midgets. They don't have anything that you guys normally see in the whole previous African movies, if you want to call it as that. But they are killing them simply because they are speaking for their right. They are demanding change. They are reporting all of these hostilities and these issues they have been holding in for so long to the governor. They're finally standing up against the governor and the leaders, and the leader is not doing anything about it. For these soldiers to even have the power to go out and kill people, could they really have done it without the consent of the governor leader or without the president or the prime minister of the country? I doubt it. Because if they are doing it at their own will, they definitely need to be prosecuted. If they are doing it by the command of the president of the country, then the president of the country definitely needs to resign. Now, if you haven't watched the first clip, I did play one of the lady who just spoke so boldly. And it's very hard to hear, it's very hard to listen. But a lot of things of what she say on there is enough. This president just needs to resign. It's 2020 and it's time for the countries in Africa to develop. It's time for it to develop. People should be able to work. People should be able to have jobs. With the pandemic and COVID-19 going on around, there should be strategies and procedures implemented in how people can stay safe. But I understand it's hard when in a third world country, in a poverty country, where there's more low-income people than the wealthy people. What is about to happen next is going to blow your mind. And when I saw this happening, I was blown away by the whole entire situation, and I could not believe it, you know? Warehouses that were stored of COVID-19 product, the food that was supposed to feed the people, the citizens of Nigeria, while they were going through a lockdown, even if they have to buy it with a small fee of money, were stored in the warehouse. 600 square feet by 600 square feet. And this is huge. It's a huge warehouse, endless walk. I'm pretty sure if you walk there, it's like a quarter of a mile to get to the other end of the warehouse. And they're tall, very high ceiling. The food was stored there. My first thought that came in my head is, did they expire? Who would be that greedy enough to store food that people are supposed to eat? Food don't last a lifetime. They don't last forever. They plan on storing it for 3 months, 1 whole year, however long it's supposed to be or that they want to store it for. They don't last that long. Food, they expire. They become dust. They collect bugs and all of those things. But after this killing happened, the protesters and the demonstrators even grew bigger, including here in the United States as well and other countries around the continent. It grew bigger, people got more furious, they got more frustrated until somehow they ran into these warehouses that has stores of food. And it's not just only warehouse, it's multiple warehouses, okay? These leaders are keeping these food stored for what? The people are starving. The people need food. They need to live. They have families. They have to support and keep their livelihood, okay? But they're keeping those food for what? You know? To feed the soldiers? To feed their families? Their own families? That is the most greediest leadership of all time, and I hope the whole entire world has finally seen the corruption that has been going on in Africa and that these leaders should not be in those seats at all whatsoever, okay? The people themselves had to discover that the food was stored. It wasn't even an investigation. It wasn't even like, you know, the good side people of the leadership came out and went and discovered these warehouses that the food was stored. It was the people themselves, okay? Now, instead of the people maybe crying or getting pissed off at the government, they're grateful. They're very grateful. They're thanking God and saying this was the day that God gave them this food. Imagine if you just dropped on your knee and start thanking God for the food that has been stored and you found it without acknowledging the fact of being pissed off at the governor and saying that, why have you stored all these food and hide them away from us? That is deep. It is extremely deep. Now, to continue on with a couple of more of the details. So as the shooting happened, people died, and now the whole demonstration Anti-SARS hashtag has reached the United States and the rest of the continent. Now the protest is taking over social media on every continent, including U.S. The United States must stand with Nigerians who are peacefully demonstrating for police reform and seeking an end to corruption in their democracy. The Democratic nominee Joe Biden said in a statement. So, which is good. Sorry for the phone call there. And they want more resources devoted to help improve policies in their country. They are saying police brutality cannot stand. And at the same time, they're saying the police are underfunded and poorly equipped, he said. This is a symptomatic problem. To get a better Nigeria, we need better police. Okay? Basically, on that quote there, the people are complaining, but also the police are complaining. The police are complaining about underfunded. They are not getting paid enough to do their jobs. Okay, well, as a human being, that doesn't give you the right to harm another human being just because you are doing a job that you are intentionally making dangerous and hurting the citizens of Nigeria or the people, you know. But yes, it's understandable if there was a robbery or there was a criminal act that was going on and you're doing this really heavy duty job and you're not getting paid enough to even do your job. Okay, selfish leaders, period, you know, as we all know. But we can't forget that we are all human beings, that we're all suffering, all on the same boat. The people are suffering. The people don't have food to eat. The people are going through a lockdown that is completely not necessary. I mean, it's lockdown without strategies, without real analytics for people to get around. You know, 24-hour curfew, what is that going to do for the people? You know, they need to go to work. They need to do whatever they need to do during the day. And right now, if it's a moment for the revolutionary to take place and people are going to die and risk their life for it, it's going to happen 24-hour. You know, the people, the furious, the frustration have grown stronger and stronger. There is no more fear being felt in this. I'm going to play one more clip here that actually demonstrates more of how the people found the food that were hidden and stored for a very long time. So just listen to his voice and what he has to say here. And when I saw this, I was really shocked. I was really devastated, you know, to know that this is what these corrupt leaders in Africa do. That's why Africa never go further than it should. With all the potential that it has, here it is.
A warehouse of 600 feet by 600 feet, full of COVID-19 products, was discovered today. Look at people.
And this was 2 days ago. 2 days ago.
This incident has been going on since 7 a.m. As I speak with you, sources say the warehouse has not gone off. Palliative that were supposed to be given to people during the COVID-19 period was hidden away in a warehouse, and Nigerians were dying of hunger and starvation. Look at this man struggling to survive. Look at him. Something that is supposed to be brought to his home. Look at it. The armies have put their truck, collected their own. Immigration, custom, last man, and the warehouse has not gone half.
So as you can hear from their voices, I mean, these are food, like the man said, is enough to feed the whole entire town. People wouldn't have to suffer as they did through the pandemic, you know. If you hear or watch some of the news that has been going on and how people are suffering with famine, is it worse to die with hunger or is it worse to die with COVID-19? People have pretty much cited that it is better to die with COVID-19 than with hunger. Anybody would not sit in their house and die with hunger. And that is what is happening in Africa, okay? Nigeria, we can all stand with Nigeria. The bravery that they have put out there and willing to risk their life to create this revolution, to get the attention from their president to make change or to resign, that is bravery, that is bold. It's been going on for decades, it's been going on for many years, and now they are saying enough is enough, and you could totally agree with that. Now, there was another video that was going around where a palace was burned, and this has gotten to the point where this palace that was burned, I wasn't sure if it was Muhammad Buhari's palace or if it was someone else, the separation between the president of Nigeria or the king of Nigeria. So the palace was burned down. And if it has really gotten to that point where now the palace is burned down, oh, where are you going to go now with all of your riches and all this stuff, you know? There's a saying, a person who loves their life to the point that they are not willing to make a sacrifice or do the duty that God gave them to, that they are supposed to do for the people of their country, will lose it. They will lose it. And the moment has come where these leaders are about to lose their life without being touched by the people of Nigeria. You know, there's still a lot more updates right now. This is just the peak of it. There's been a couple of protests that has been going on here in the United States as well, especially in LA, Los Angeles. If any of you know Peter Lantini, he's on social media. He's one of the, you know, he's one of the people there who is part of this movement, and they have created a candlelight vote. I believe this was, I'm not sure what day. Well, this was last few days ago, and this is just for all the lives and the youth that were lost during this protest that were killed by the soldier. So may their soul rest in peace. You know, looking at the stories and the videos that were sent to me, it looks like it went very well. There were many motivational speakers there and activist speakers there. So people are really stepping up now more to what is going on and are actually aware. So hashtag Anti-SARS, and until, you know, the president of Nigeria resign or the international human rights, they get involved, anything to help solve this problem. And whatever Nigeria is doing right now is not even just for Nigeria. This is like a great outlook for the rest of the African countries as well. People of Africa have been fighting against these corrupt leaderships for decades, for years. And right now we're in 2020. Many people, more people are still in poverty. They're still in poverty line, you know? And you could completely understand why many foreigners, of course, come to the United States, a country where you have the freedom and the opportunity to make a life for yourself. In Africa, where there is so many resources and riches and all of these things that we have unlimitedly, but then the leaders are hoarding it to themselves or making it a generational wealth to only their heritage down the line, is completely selfish, and it has to be abolished, and it has to go. There's millions of people in Africa that are also struggling to make a life, okay? Everybody has a position to do something, you know, to make a change, to be a progress for their country, to be able to open businesses, to be able to fly to different places, be entrepreneurs, be private sectors, or anything like that. A friend told me once, okay, I am the only African that is sitting in a first class airplane majority of the time. Maybe only 2 or 3 other Africans he will see on a first class, okay? This is in Africa, okay? From a different African country to a different African country, in the first class, he's the only one. And it's sad when you really think about it. Where are the rest of the Africans that are supposed to be successful and that can actually enjoy the life of Africa? Who's enjoying the life of Africa? People in first class is Caucasians, Arabians, other groups other than Africa. Even the Ethiopian airline, that is one of the highest airlines in Africa, or one of the largest airplane in Africa. Okay, in first class, you have other people sitting there. Even if you travel from Ethiopia to Nigeria, that's still within Africa. Okay, Africa needs to come up. Change needs to happen, and Nigeria has already started. Let's stand with Nigeria. Thank you for watching, and I will get back to you with more updates next Saturday. Have a good night.
My name is Abdi Heibe. I am a social worker. So please join us on November 3rd to vote for the candidate who supported by the Service Employee International Union. To find out information about where to vote from home, please go to vote.seiumn.org.
Nouveau à Minneapolis, Tempo Afrique Travel. Vous voulez voyager? Achetez vos billets d'avion à l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, pas de problème de connexion, pas de problème de transfert de vol. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, c'est le voyage en toute tranquillité, en toute beauté, de votre maison jusqu'à votre destination. Votre satisfaction est notre plaisir.